Hey guys, I think I'm live. I am so glad that you're here joining me today. This is Lisa from Sweet and Sassy Treasures, and you are just seeing my project because um, I'm extremely comfy, cozy, casual, and I want to just get started. So I don't want to waste any time. Sweet and Sassy Treasures is an online DIY boutique of fabulous products, including DIY paint, IOD products, Facebook user. Oh, you know what, you guys? We're going to be going back to, I think, StreamYard reset. So I think we're going to have to go back and give StreamYard permission to show your names. So I'm not going to be able to see your names. It's just this really weird thing that's happened. Hi, Deb. If you're on YouTube, I can see your name just on Facebook. Hi, Judy. So sorry about that. I'm not going to be looking at my monitor much anyhow. So if you have questions, I'll go back in and answer them. I'm pretty confident this is going to be a two-part project because of where I want to go with this. If by any chance you did, probably 2 years ago, I had a carousel project. Let me show it to you. And this is kind of, in a strange kind of way, my inspiration for this project. So it won't be to this extent. So I did this. It was a paid workshop. So this is kind of the inspiration that I'm using. Those of you who know me, you know that I don't keep anything ever, and this is mine. So I did keep this one. So it's pretty fun. So that's kind of, in a very loose sort of way, what I'm using for inspiration. So I'm going to switch to, I'm going to use decoupage medium because I can't get that open. And I should be able to get my decoupage medium open. I don't have enough in there though. So I have to get this sucker open. Gosh darn it. I thought I had everything all ready. I've been trying to be good about wiping the lip. I'm just getting all frustrated here, so I'm going to have to use something else to get this open. This is why we started putting everything in squirt bottles, because of this problem. It just gets glued to the container. So I'm just taking one of those and it's cross-threaded, I think. That's what it feels like. It's cross-threaded. So again, you guys, if you're on Facebook, that's definitely what the problem is. If you're on Facebook, I can't see your names. We're going to have to go back through and give StreamYard permission. Son of a gun. I'm going to have to grab I got Pentart decoupage medium, which is pretty dreamy as well. And that I know I can get open. Heat it with your heat tool. Oh, that would have been smart. Who said that? Type your name in. You guys, if you're on Facebook, just type your name in so I know who's here. So this is, all of the decoupage mediums are not created equal. The thicker the decoupage medium, the better job it will do on a heavier paper. So this one's a little bit thicker, clear liquid patina. Oh, Aileen, thank you. That was great, great, great advice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get medium on the top of this. This board, you guys, I cut to 18 because I want, no, I'm a liar, 12. I wanted it an inch wider. I think it's 12 by 22. So I'm just going to get this on here. And I am going to go pretty close to all the way to the top. Okay. Then I want it evenly spaced on the sides. That should be pretty good right there. And I'm going to take my felt tool. Here I am. And smooth that out. Oh, you guys, this has been one of those weird kind of days. So Monahan paper is a heavier weight paper. Thanks, you guys. I don't know who on Facebook is communicating, but I'm glad that you're here. And if I had something up that I was viewing comments on, I would know. Pentart products, you guys, if you're not familiar with them, they're just really, really creamy. They're like fabulous. And what I like about this is it is a little bit heavier, which is really nice for this heavier paper. I want to make sure I get that. And I know I'm about 5 inches longer than this paper, so that will help me judge how far to go down. I sanded the edges. This is 1/2 inch sanded interior plywood. So now you want to work the bubbles out as you put it in place. You don't really want to get decoupage medium on that. Felt pad. And everything I'm using for the most part is in the products used in this week's live section of my website, Sweet and Sassy Treasures. But I don't have the decoupage medium on there because I didn't realize I was going to be using it. So you wanna revisit the adhesion 30 seconds, I'd say, after you apply your paper. And maybe at the minute mark, because it may appear to be smooth, and then you'll find that little bubbles start popping up. So I'm going to take my paper towel, wipe that edge. Did anybody watch the IOD special the other day, you guys? I missed it. Oh, actually, I want to go over the top of this. Such a creamy medium. Pentart products are very reasonably priced. Having said that, we did just experience a 15% price increase. And Decoupage Queen is in the process of restocking. So, like the gold pen, I can't get right now. So I'm seeing bubbles. And that's not that unusual. I just smooth them out. I did spray the front and back of my paper with Rust-Oleum matte sealer, and that helps. Oh, there's a big old bubble right there. That should smooth out as it dries. And a bigger brush would help, right? So there's a bubble right here and a really big one right in there, which, like I said, as it dries, that should smooth out. Those are a couple of big bubbles. Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm glad it was good. Thursday's my pottery day. This right here is not, that bubble is not going away. Normally I would pull the paper back and lay it back down, but usually they do just disappear. So a couple of things I could do if that really does not seem to be going away, and there it just feels like the decoupage medium underneath is not adhered. I can take parchment paper and iron that, and I would need to do that sooner than later. Sometimes you can cut a slit in the paper, but I can't with this because it will show up because it's so dark, which is very, very frustrating. So we'll see. The only way that this won't work is if I didn't get decoupage medium in that spot. Best laid plans, right? Let me get this puppy plugged in. And it's just a craft iron. And I'll see what happens. So see, this is so odd. And if it doesn't adhere, I'm going to have to rip it off and start over. But we'll see. Oops. Okay, I've got it on 4. I just need to grab some parchment paper. I just ready to take a syringe needle and put some. Yeah, you absolutely can. I'm trying to avoid it because it's brown and it'll show up. Never seen a craft iron. Oh, good question. This is a corner iron. It's a Dritz. All right. I can smell that it's hot. So as long as I have decoupage medium under there, this will work. So I got this for when I was doing furniture. I would always line the drawers with some sort of paper decoupage, and I wanted to get in the corners. Yep, it's doing it. Let's see. Cute little one, isn't it? Hi, Kathy. So yeah, it's not showing me who you guys are. And that's because, I don't know, before I logged on today, I had to agree to a new terms of use that company sold. I don't know. It's weird. Okay. Just want to make sure I really have it heated. So bizarre. I have never had this happen. I think we're good everywhere else. May have a couple of little ripples, but nothing. I guess I could get it at the top of his back a little bit better. Right here. And sometimes you need to heat it up. What you're doing is you're melting that. I'm going to put the link. I'm trying to remember what it is. StreamYard.com/Facebook, I think. Yeah, I think that's good now. Let me turn this off. Then I don't have to worry about if I forget to unplug it. That's just a light falling. just. I think it is, hold on, let me check something. How to give StreamYard permission to show name on Facebook. Let me see what comes up. I'm just doing a Google search. Guys, this is bizarre. I can't get this to return. I don't know what is going on. Hello, sweetie. I'm going to try, this is what I think it used to be. www.streamyard.com/Facebook. Somebody try that and let me know if that works. Destinations tab within your StreamYard dashboard. Yeah, who knows? You guys can just tell me. You can just tell me who you are. All right, let me put this over there. There's still just a little buckle, but we're good. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I want to build up texture. And I'm going to use a few different things. I've got some cheesecloth here. I have my diamond pattern stencil by Jamie Ray Vintage. I have a new one listed on the site by Mara. It's distressed diamonds. That's really cool. I didn't have one open yet, so I'm just like, all is fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a color that's, I think crinoline is what I'm going to use. There is, I think this will be good. There's a little bit of a green undertone. Did it work? No, it did not work. Hey, Tracy. So there's been, you guys, there's been weird stuff, man. It's just, I don't know. It's just strange, the hoops that we have to jump through now. So I'm using Pentart 3D powder. And what you do is you mix that in with your paint. I'm going to grab another credit card here. I got a few of them just in case. So what this will do is it almost makes embossing medium. I'm watching from my wrong page. Oh, that's all right. So here, I'm going to take just that much for right now. Doesn't take a lot. And so you're going to make almost a tinted paste. It is not as creamy as embossing medium is. It's a little grittier, but you can make it as heavy of a paste as you'd like. So this is still a little too watery for me. I was already logged in. It is weird, you guys. Maybe it's something on my end. I don't know. I'm going to use about that same amount that I used the first time, which is, you know, about half of one of these plastic spoons. There we go. It's getting nice and thick now. And I don't have a lot made up. I didn't pour a lot on my plate, but I really like where that's going. I've been really bad about cleaning my stencil. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to bring this in quite a few spots, but I know I'm going to end up covering it up as well. So that's part of just kind of the plan. Let's see. I don't want to bring in a lot over there because I love that believe that's right there. So I'm not going to want to cover that too much. I'm going to take my plastic card and I'm going to get some on here. So you can hear the grit. I'm going to go in here a little bit. Boy, that noise doesn't remind you of fingernails on a blackboard. I'm not sure what will. So I'm just kind of bringing a little bit in. And you can see up in this area, I'm not even going that far into the paper. I'm going to have to mix more of this up. And I want it to work on that edge. But you could hear the grit. When you use embossing medium, there is zero grit to it. Paint Couture's answer for that is crust. And all of that is really cool and it looks really good. What am I doing? I know I'm doing a lot more than that. But I didn't want to have to paint it. So this takes care of that for me. DIY Paint has their paint frosting, which thickens the paint. You can also leave the paint out at just, like room temperature. But this 3D powder is really reasonable, and a little bit goes a long way. It's a little, I like it. See that? But it's still just a little too thin. I don't want a whole lot more. There we go. And that should do the rest of it. And this will dry with, I'm going to move this up in a second. There we go. This is good. I think the other advantage with this is your dry time. The embossing medium, I almost need to think or use it hours in advance, and this will dry, at the same pace as paint. I'm just going to bring that in. And I probably don't have it lined up perfectly after I shifted it there, but I'll bring some in here. I'm going to want to pick it up and move it. Oh, Denise, I'm so sorry. It's just different. I don't know how to explain how it's different. It just is. Now, when I set this back down, it's going to, because there's some undoubtedly on the back, it's going to leave some marks, and I'm okay with that. Yeah, salt wash dries in peaks. Like it's a peak. Product, and typically you want to, sand it and bring back the color underneath. Okay, let me get this over here. And I really do not want it by his face. I think I mixed up just about enough. So I'm going to have to touch that up in there, maybe. How does different from salt wash? Yeah, sorry. I wish I had a better answer for you than the one that I gave. But now I'm going to bring this down. So I have to pick you up here. And I'm going to slide this again. I don't really care if it's not perfect. So I can get just this area down here. And I really want this to be just hit and miss here and there. Definitely bring some up here. When that's going to be just the amount I'm going to end up being short. For somebody like me that can't stand noises, that has to be super irritating. All right, we're going to call that done. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty toxic, need a mask. All right, I'm going to address that for a second, you guys. And this probably is not going to be popular. I do have to get this in water. Give me 10 seconds. All right, take this for what it's worth. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not an environmentalist. Um, I'm just going to speak from life experience. I remember, I'm going to use the flesh eating bacteria for lack of a better example. So, flesh eating bacteria was a thing, I think, in my early 20s. And it was like we were all going to get it and we were all going to die. And I think I'm going to let this dry a little bit. I wish you could see the elevation. It looks so good. So it's funny because I can see Joan, Silver Cup Studios showing up, which is a page, but no individual users are. So this is drying really quickly. Okay, so flesh-eating bacteria, I had to Google it at the time. Well, look it up. I'm not sure there was Google at the time, so maybe I was older. And, you know, we were all going to get it and we were all going to die. And so it was being reported, quote unquote, more and more. Yeah, I love that nostalgic vibe too. I would like to bring a little bit more diamonds in here, but I'll do it with the cheesecloth. So what happened is, because it was brought, I'm going to mix up a little bit more, you guys, because I'm going to use the same thing to apply cheesecloth. Is it appeared to be reported more and more. And the reality was the number of cases hadn't increased. It was the amount of reporting, because the reporting gets viewers, right? And people are drawn to, what's the word I'm looking for? Sensationalism, I guess. And I think what's happened here, and again, I don't mean to step on anybody's toes, and I'm not disagreeing with the toxicity or anything like that of products. I'm going to thin this out a little bit more because I know I'm using it with the cheesecloth and I don't need it to be quite that thick. So with the last IOD release and people wanting to do the clear resin, more and more people were doing resin. And so people started talking about proper PPE and stuff like that. And I don't disagree with that. Just cheesecloth. This is bought on a roll at Hobby Lobby, like in the ribbon section. And so none of that has changed, but more and more people's attention is on it because more people are using it, just because of the nature of the last release. So that has caused, and it's getting attention, right? So that has caused people to look more closely at the warnings and stuff on the products that we've been using. I'm going to say that E6000, in my opinion, in my limited research, right? Limited. It is probably one of the more toxic things that are out there. People have not used, I'm going to just tear this in sections, you guys. I'm lying, I'm going to cut it because it doesn't want to tear. So, I'm sure that the people that were using protective things, respirators and stuff, I'm stretching this out so it's like irregular. I want it wonky. And the toxicity of it didn't change. It's just that more people were aware, so more people are spreading the news. So I think that that's the case with a lot of these things, right? And I think I'm going to default to my idea of my common sense look at it all. So this See how wonky this has gotten? And that's pretty cool. So I'm going to lay this. I'm going to go back to that bottom section. I am going to finish my point here. I really am. I'm going to bring this kind of at an angle, and I'm going to kind of fold it. I'm lying. I'm going to do it on an angle, but then, so I'm just kind of getting it on that cheesecloth. Now you could use paint for this. You don't need to use this, but I want to build up texture. Notice I'm going over where the diamonds are. That's okay. I am going to grab, I want a crappy brush though, because this will not be very friendly. Here we go. To my brushes. I'm just going to dab that on there. Chicken Little is, the sky is falling. Be mindful of any of that stuff. And if you choose not to take precautions, then just know that, things can happen. But I think we are surrounded by stuff like that. If something gets airborne and you breathe it in, that's not a good thing. In my pottery class, there's the same thing in pottery that is in the salt wash, silica. And silica is sand particles. Think about all the things that you use that have sand particles in them. And if you're breathing that in, that's not a good thing. Let me read this. Let's see, that part's not in English. So I'm wondering if you went on the site, it's made, where's it made? Like, not in the US. So their standards might be different of what they have to disclose. So I love that. I love the texture. Some dog food has silica in it. So what I'm going to say is, I bet you 90% of what we're using in crafts probably should have some sort of PPE. I caution everybody against the whole Chicken Little, sky is falling. I don't know why we tend to want to jump on those bandwagons, but we do. And I'm of the same mindset. I read that today and I thought about it, and then I thought, you know what? I'm just taking that tail and wiping that along the bottom. So now I'm going to go here. So moral of the story is, I think we should be using PPE on a lot of things. If all of this has created our awareness of this stuff, I think that's great. But the powdery stuff, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I think about, it's weird. I got something delivered from Amazon today, and it was a powder. I'll share it with you when it somebody else was using it. Now look, when I get it in. But anyway, it was punctured, and it was, the powder was in the bag. So how intelligent is it to ship? This is Amazon. A bag of powdery substance in a plastic envelope. I'm thinking probably not the best thing to do. So I'm going to take this cheesecloth here and I'm going to put it like here. So I think we should be mindful for sure. You know what? I'm going to bring it. Problem is, I don't want that straight edge. I don't want it to get on my mousse. So I think we need to be careful. And we certainly need to start reading the backs of things. And we shouldn't be inhaling stuff. I'm just going to pull this around this edge. Pull that off of there. And I can wipe that back if I choose to. I love bringing that texture in there. I don't know who just posted this, but I think this is like so well said. Absolutely so well said. And I think we can't overstate, using some things indoors without ventilation, like you got to open a window. And I'm cutting this section on an angle right now, so I get rid of that straight line that I don't like, because I'm not able to tear this. But I don't know. I'm not saying it right, but a lot of the crap we use isn't good for us, is what I'm trying to say. We need to be careful. But we also don't want to, I don't want to say overreact, because it's not overreacting at all. But when I read this person was using E6000, this was years ago I read this, and got all these symptoms and didn't link it to E6000 until well after the fact. And it was like very eye-opening for me. And then as I used it, I started paying better attention to the smell. Maybe for this one, I'm just going to get sections laid down. And you're still going to be able to see the diamond pattern in these areas. But I guess one of the things that bothered me was when there started being so much blame placed at IOD. And it wouldn't matter if it was IOD or a different company. When, there was nothing wrong with the molds, but we're so quick to want to place blame. So I guess that's part of it. And at the end of the day, you just need to be careful. So I love that tree, and I don't necessarily want to cover up a lot of it, but I like where that's going. So my left side, let me go this way. My left side is heavier. And then on my right side, I'm kind of going in where I didn't on the left. And now I'm going to just go in this bottom section. I have this little piece right here. I'm going to place right in here. I don't know. Does that make sense, you guys? I feel like I'm rambling. There's so much divisiveness right now that just makes me sad. Just in the world. I just want everybody to get along and create happily. That's going to be pretty cool right there. I have hypersensitive. Oh, you know what? I love that. Hypersensitivity, and to cope with everyday challenges, I try to keep a positive outlook and focus on the good. I love that. Absolutely love that. And a lot of us, and this is not going to get political, um, but a lot of us lately are having a more difficult time. I want to tack that down a little bit better. I don't need any more of the powder. All I keep thinking is, should I be breathing that powder in? Um, so I'm just going to add paint. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was saying. Couldn't have been important. My grandmother would have said, must have been a lie. Just clump that up there. I'm really, really liking this. Okay, let me put all that in water. Let me take a look at this, and we're going to look at my big picture of things. So I'm going to dry here a little bit. So I'd love to hear anything positive in the last couple of days. Just share one positive thing. Like, I'll go first. For me, yesterday was pottery class, and I'm new to hand building. I'm probably only 3 months in, maybe. And I made the cutest snow girl. So I have I think I have 2 snow girls, snow women, drying out right now, and maybe 3 snowmen. And it just made me so happy. What do you guys got for me? Velvet gaskets help remove toxins. Oh, well, that's good to know. It's working with alcohol ink. Oh my God, Deb, I heard that with alcohol inks. So, like, where do we draw the line between having fun and being safe? All of that's been brought to light is awesome. So here, you guys, we're still going to see the diamond pattern, and we're going to get the cheesecloth there. I tried to preserve the I believe. I might wipe that back a little bit more. We are going to crackle. I started a new junk journal. Oh, Judy, I love that. Who else has done something nice for themselves? It's funny because all I do, I feel like, is create. Like, that's my job. That's my business. Even though I'm retired, it's my job. And doing the hand-built pottery is creating, but it's different. It's not, I don't have the pressure like I have when it's my job. So it's such a nice escape. I can't wait to show you this corner down here. Let me lighten this up a little bit. Come on, you guys, keep it going. Something good. I want to hear something good. I think any day where we get out of bed and both feet hit the ground, I think that's an amazing day. So one of the things that's bothering me is I've not dealt with this transition right here. I did a snowman face. We need to thank Tracy Van for all the snowman stuff, because it's been so fun. I started with the snowman, with the snowman people. So I'm just going to take a bunch of little projects. That's the best. Isn't that so good? I try really hard. I need some texture in here. I try really hard not to let unfinished projects accumulate, but I have a pile in the corner of the room. And then if you were here Wednesday, I ended up with that tile. I totally pulled that ornament off because I wasn't happy with it. Oh my God, I want to see a wool wreath. I want to see that. Mix this up. There's some water on here, but that's okay. Yeah, one more. So I've been very, very anxious to get my book box sample prototype done, but I'm making myself finish other things, and I'm using that as my reward. Isn't that funny? This should be okay. So, like, if you're a good girl and you get all that other stuff done, so I'm going to bring this. This isn't very heavy texture-wise, but I want to cover that. Now, what I don't want is what I did, which is it's too like symmetrical. So I want it to go up in one spot and maybe lower in another. The entire 2 bag. Oh my God, Rita, that's it, mixed to mold. That's what came from Amazon today. Rita, do you remember who shared that, the mix to mold? Because I want to give them credit. I had never heard of it, and I wanted to try it before I recommended it. But all right, I just have to be happy with that. But it came with the bag broken, and I opened it up because obviously I didn't know the bag was broken, and I feel like it was like just this cloud of dust. If I'm opening a powder like that myself, I'm careful. I wouldn't shake it up first, like I thought it was going to be sealed. It was just frustrating. So that looks good there. Oh my God, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. So Rita, tell us what you think of the mix to mold. So you guys, I don't know anything about it. I think it was, oh, I just don't remember. When I remember who recommended it, I will be sure to, Joni. I think it was Joni. I can't think of Joni's page name. But anyway, it's 2-part. It's supposed to be non-toxic. Oh, Judy, you're so sweet. I love the crazy pug lady name. That's so cool. So I want to bring this down a little bit. Now this is gritty, so it's not going to come off like just the paint would. But see how I'm getting it to where it's less defined? So I can clean some of this up. Okay, I like that. I still could adhere this better right here, but it's not bothering me that much. Joey, oh, Faux Bois IOD mold. Yep, that was a good one. Similar product to mix to mold. My sister recommended the one I bought. You mix with water and it becomes almost like porcelain. What's the name of it, Deb? So the thing that I look at, like you'll see my mold that, because I want to lay this out kind of right now. Clay is my go-to, and in light of all of the conversations, it seems to be pretty safe. Let me get this to where you guys are more straight overhead. Okay, so I'm using the Bose mold because of all the bows in the tree. So I've got it I made it out of clay. And it's going to go here. Let me get this so it's straight. If I turn this light on, if that helps. So we're not going to be able to see it that well right now, right? Because it's light. And then I'm going to put I have to figure out where exactly I want these to go. And this is nice and hard already. So I'm going to glue those in place. Eco powder, mix it with water, and I've made bowls. Oh, that's what I wondered about, how perfect cast. Okay, perfect cast. I think I'm going to glue this in place, but I've just got to think of the order of things and how I want to do it. Because we're going to crackle yet too. I think I may want to add the crackle. I'm going to add the bow and I'm going to add the crackle. So I'm going to show you something which most of you probably know already. Oh, hold on. You guys, I'm coming, I promise. I'm looking for the bow mold. Here? Yeah. That's gonna fall. So I get stumped with stuff, like especially this. I've got this, which is really pretty, and I may not need the other ribbon, but I go to use this and it's been a long time, right? And I can figure out that here's the big bow, here's a big ribbon, here's a big ribbon. So I know those go together. But sometimes I have to look at the back to see. So see how they've got that? They've got it with going right off the bow and more sideways. So let's see, it goes like this. Now, if I tried to curve these right now, they would crack. And I'm not sure that I need that length. So I'm going to glue this in place. It's still a little pliable, but not like super pliable. And I do like to make sure that I get it along the edges. But I think, I think options are good. I like to have different products that we can use and try and stay as safe as we can. Okay, so this, flip back over, and I do somewhat want it centered. I think that is. And I prefer to put it on right out of the mold. But for me to be able to work on it, I need to get a crust on it. So I don't have that luxury when I'm doing a live. And that I'm pretty sure I'm going to do pink. So now, when I look at this, I see skeleton key. Hello, Facebook user. Hi, guys. They're not showing me your names. I'm so sorry. So I've got some skeleton key. I'm going to put that down before I do the crackle. So we're going to start up here. And then I have this. Now, one of the other things I could have done, and I did think about whether I wanted to do this or not, was this. Go like this, actually, the other way. I kind of like that. What do you guys think? Should we put that on there like that? I don't know. Hobby Lobby's best price for a 5-pound. Ooh, less than $20. Oh, that's good to know. So I don't know. And I think when they're pink, we'll have a better idea. I don't have a whole lot of time to make that decision. So I'm going to take my skeleton key and put it on my plate with everything else. And then I have this plaque that I think I want to put here, but I'm not positive yet. I'm not going to add it just to add it. So let me grab a brush. We're going to start up here. There we go. And I'm going to go the outside. It's not totally dry. And I also don't want it completely covered. But you're going to start seeing what all this dimension is going to do now. I want the paint to be heavier along the outside. The other thing you could do is if you got the cheesecloth down, you were like, shoot, I'm not seeing enough of that harlequin pattern, just go over the top of it. It's more of a dry brush. Coffee and ice cream. Oh, coffee and ice cream? Let's get in here. that, I think I'm going to try and pull some of that back. I don't know how successful I'm going to be with that. Yeah, Charlie, I think the basement, well, she comes down just to see what she can steal because she's my barker. And then she goes back upstairs, especially Ken's home. And my Velcro dog, Luna, she does not leave my side and she is not a barker. We're going to see that bow pop now. Just take the lid off this. And my Yorkie, she has a high-pitched voice. But the two of them, the puppy and the Yorkie, they spend as much time outside as possible and bark a ton. And it bothers me because I don't want it to bother my neighbors. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to get my squirt bottle. There's going to be some back and forth here. It takes me a while to figure out exactly how to get the look that I want. So by spraying that, it's going to move better. So if you remember, I put Decor medium over the top of this. So I should still be able to wipe back what I want to wipe back, but I'm also going to dry brush. So now what I'll do is I'll just look at my paper and see what colors I see. I definitely don't want to pull the green, but I'm thinking that color right there. Let me think. I think I'm going to mix a gray is what I'm going to mix. Get this here better. But I might apply the crackle first. Let me do some wiping back. Loving all the texture. Thank you. So those of you who joined late, I can't see names. I don't know what happened with StreamYard, but all of a sudden I can't see names. Even if you've given them permission, I think we're going to have to probably go back to the whole permission thing again. So all I'm doing now is working on the shape of this. Pulling back some of that background. And had I big tapped this, I might have been happier. Texture was you, thank you. Hi, Mary Jo. I'm so glad I'm getting to see some names, you guys. All right. It's always a back and forth. This needs to dry some more before I can pull a whole lot of that back down there. It's a really funny shape. Okay, I'm going to dry this. Hi, Shannon. Thank you. It's a weird shape right now, but I'll probably bring my stencil back in. I just want to get some things dry. Do some dry brushing. So I will stop at the crackle stage. But you'll start seeing now as it dries that we're going to get some more dimension. Actually, I want to bring in some of that. I think what I'm going to do is add some black to the skeleton key. That's what I'm going to do. I think that might be a good idea. So I've got black velvet. Let's see what color we get if we do that. In the thrift store, I would look for something Christmassy. Ooh, that would be fun. God, I haven't been to a thrift store in so long. I'm just gonna take a palette knife. I have some black velvet on this plate. You don't want to set it there, Lisa. Okay, so here's black velvet. I'm gonna add some skeleton key to that. See if we can't get a really pretty blue-gray. Need more than that. That's pretty close. I think it has a little bit of crinoline in it, so we're going to try and pull some of that in over here. Let's just try a little, see what we get. What I like is then you end up with a few shades. So let's try that and see. And what I want is I want to create some shadowing. So here. Just go on around that outside. Pull it in a little. I think I like where that's going. I think I like the color. I just pulled in a little more crinoline into that, and I'll be able to go like here. Where it's lighter. I'm just kind of drying my brush off. I like what that's doing. On that lighter color in here. And I'll wipe that back a little bit so I get less of a defined. All right, so I'm gonna have to bring that, let's see. Going more skeleton key right here. Now I'm going to grab more crinoline. You know what though? That is actually sandy blonde right there. And I'm just going to put that on my plate. So I got sandy blonde on my brush. I'm going to bring that in there. Just whatever sandy blonde I had left on my brush. Just pulling that in. We're getting just another color. Let's see here. We know that's Christmas tree, so that right there wouldn't be. Okay, let me see. I like that. I think that's looking good. So I think I need to bring that sandy blonde. That's going to make it a little bit darker. Bring it. That's actually pretty light there. But we'll do our own thing. Sandy blonde, and I'm going to put crinoline. Keep in mind, you guys, I still have some of the texture on my plate. I'll blend that in. Not necessarily thrilled about covering up his antler there. I'll put that back in place. There we go. Whoa, and I just did it again. Okay. You know, if I were to do this again, I would be more mindful now, you know, of stuff that I covered up that maybe I wouldn't necessarily have wanted to. I got all three of those colors kind of going here. I like to have one side a different color than the other side to add interest. I may not add crackle. Go back in, a little darker there. Grab some blue back. I'm going into that darker portion of my plate right now. I may cut that off. I'll see how that plays out. That's just a little section of cheesecloth. So I think I need to go lighter. Make mistakes. We have happy accidents. Bob Ross. Yeah. I definitely agree with the no mistakes, but I definitely have times where it's like, I would have liked this better. So I need to think about whether I want to put these in place or not. I kind of don't like that it would be cutting it off, but I don't know. Let's do this, see what I think. Cut this shorter. Now that I do like. Maybe I'll do the same thing here. That I do like. What do you guys think of that? Oh, thanks, Deb. It's still gonna be like a figure it out as I go along kind of thing. You guys, you think that's good? Grab some blue here. I think I need to bring it darker in this corner here. Darker, but not the same dark that's on the other side. Gotta get some black velvet. I'm going all rogue. You know, and maybe I want to bring some of this darker around that bow. I think I do like that. I think I'm going to put that in place. Sorry, Tootie. Where did I have that? Have that curved down a little bit. You have a lot more flexibility if you do it while it's still right out of the mold. I'm not going to be able to curve these a whole lot. So we're going to continue to go darker around that ribbon. I'm going to want to get a smaller brush and get inside that bow for sure. So. Oops, way too much on there. I do sell my work. This time of year, things sell fairly quickly. Um, but we're just getting into this time of year as well. I do an auction, so I'm just dry brushing you guys here. I'm going to get the edges of those diamonds are going to pop. Thrilled with that over there. Thrilled. Pull that off. Really, really like this. Something is bothering me in here. That's better. Just getting rid of anything that looks too deliberate. Oops, that's making an obnoxious noise. Let's see. Think about what color that is. There, that blends in better. That's preserved. Probably went a little more on his little nose than I would have liked, but that's okay. Miss Peggy Clout. Oh, till I open the box. I know I got to tell everybody about that. I'm so excited to get started. And then I had to hope I remember the order I did everything too. Just pulling back here. So look how much that helps when you just pull back some of those little harlequin areas. There we go. That looks so good over there. So now I'm just going to pick up in this area. I was on a roll and now I'm like, I think I need to add some more crinoline to my plate. We're on an hour and 35. Yay. So I'm gonna I can't imagine you guys want to sit and watch me do this. Is that too light? So I'm just bringing that in there so that I can blend in that shadowing that I put. I think I need to bring some dark I do. Aw, I'm so glad. Because I could just keep going. I feel like this needs to be darker, so I'm going to go grab some of that black. See what that looks like. I think I'm going to bring in lighter right in there. I think that would be unexpected. Yeah, maybe still a little lighter than that. Yep, I like that. But this is the area where I need to switch color. So I think I'm going to need to go moodier here. Let's see what we get. Bring that in a little bit. I don't want it to look like it's half and half. That's good. Just going to keep kind of going with that idea. Let's see what we got there. Okay. Got some lighter. Here. Taking my mind off. Oh, no way. I've never been a huge basketball person. And we've got a really big rivalry in Michigan with Michigan and Michigan State. Go darker down here. How's that? I still need darker. Let's see what this does. Smells a good brush. Oh, yeah, that looks good. So now that color, I'm going to bring this way. I'm going to have to vary it a little bit. And then you got to kind of bring it over this way too, because you don't want it to be abrupt. That looks good. Looking at the camera really, really helps. We're getting some of that diamond pattern popping. So now I need to bring some lighter in over here. Lighter how? Lighter, let's try sandy blonde. And skeleton key and see what that does. Ish. Lighten it up a little more. until I bring it up here. Just trying to dry brush the heck out of those. All this just is not working for me. And that definitely is not going to do it. Okay. Let's get the stencil. Okay, that stencil is way too wet. So this is the other one I was telling you about. Mira's Distressed Harlequin, which I think will be really fun to bring another Harlequin pattern in here. I have the multi-Harlequin too, but I think those will be too small. I thought I pulled one of these for myself, but I don't know where it's at. So, okay. I wonder how that would look. I'm going to just try it for S&G. Let me just see what happens. Just going to get a little crinoline on my brush. This isn't a stencil brush. And we should get just a tone-on-tone kind of look. And I don't want perfect, which I'd never be able to get anyhow because this is all packed up and I'm not worried about if I don't like it. Not even going to peek. I mean, I really like what that did. I think that looks good. Let's see here. I don't even need to get it right in the same spot. Let's see. Put that there. Get that, get that. Let's see what that did. I think that's super cool. I don't like these. get this bad boy back. Like that. Okay, let's see. I am going to pretty much stop here and then figure out where I'm going to go next. This bow is just floating in the middle of nowhere, so I got to figure out how to remedy that. Doesn't look great, but it will get there. So I guess the other thing I need to do is that's kind of heavy, so I'm going to go in and do the same thing. It was my brush that was working so well for me right here. And I'm going to bring that same stenciling up there. Now just kind of keeping with that Harlequin theme. Realizing I'm going to end up wiping some stuff off. I really like what that's doing. There's too much background, not enough image, and the scale on this is too small. So I have to pull this off. It is called Christmas Mousse, I think, and it's under products used in this week's live. So I either have to go, I know, isn't it awesome? I either have to go with the bigger bow or something else. So it's going away. And then I'll look at it and I'll be able to decide what's next. When am I going to finish this up is the question. Let me go in. Got to kind of just repeat that process here. I think Sunday I can finish this up. So if I use the bow, and I really wanted to use the bow because the bow's up there. But also, don't be surprised if I've redone this and preserved more of the image, because that is extremely possible. I didn't leave enough of the tree. Let's see what happens if we do this. Right, you don't know until, you don't know if you don't try. Because I absolutely have no problem with off camera getting back to this point in a method that I'm happier with. Just pull more of that up. Now, if I would have big topped this, this would come up way easier. It's not giving me a horrible time. Oh, you won. I'm so glad. Yay. That's how we pretty much run our lives around the Lions game around here now. Okay, so I'm wearing through the paper is what's happening. But I'm gonna like that better. I love the background. So I just wore away the paper there. All the texture, but I'm going to want to go lighter on the texture. So that's what you're going to see the next time you see me. It's going to be the same idea. I'm actually going to just sand this off probably. But I want to get it to where I like it. So this will be, all of this will be over more. That will come in more. I don't know that I'm going to do the cheesecloth, but I love it down here. So if I could save this, I would, but I can't. And it'll be fun to do it again. So I'll be live Sunday afternoon. So this paper number, let me see if it starts with a C, that I know, but it's called Christmas Mousse. So let me go to, let's see, I'm going to do, so this is what I do on my, I just go to store products. And then if I go to, you guys will go to this week's live products. And it is called Christmas Mousse, right there. It's that one right there. And I know I used one, so I don't have 32 in stock. I'm going to use another one, so that means I have 30, and that will go quickly. So I'm going to add, I'll add everything else that I used, you guys. So the diamond, the distressed diamond stencil, I'll add 2. And then you'll see this, it'll look exactly the same, but more of the image will be showing. I'm not going to use this here either. But look at how cool it looks, you guys, when you use it and pull it back. Look at how good that looks. Isn't that awesome? So fun. All right, thanks for being here. Sunday at I'm gonna say 2-ish. Sunday at 2 is what I'm gonna plan. All right, you guys, I'm gonna turn off the camera and I'm gonna get right back to this spot. So it's gonna take me a couple of hours. So you guys have a great night. Thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate you.